Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Uh, I propose to speak on the practical application of AI in military operations. How we as field commanders can exploit what the AI can provide to us. When I look at it, there are four headings under which I want to cover this as a field force commanders, what they expect out of AI intelligence. First of all is the intelligence itself. The interesting part is that we have so much information today, but we're not able to convert it into actionable intelligence. I'll give you a small example. In the Kargil War of 1999, we had a number of informations that Pakistan is doing something, they're infiltrating, yet we could not get actionable intelligence out of it to be able to react to it timely. And we had a big setback on that. Similarly, if you look more closely to the 7th of October last year in Hamas-Israel war, Israel had information. Number of times some things have been told to them that similar thing is going to happen. But they could not use the AI properly, I presume, to be able to convert it into actionable intelligence. So what is important today is this. In all fields of military operations, there is so much information available, not only from open sources, but from internet, from various other documents you read. But unfortunately, we are not able to harness the best options out of them. For example, as a field commander, I want to know what the enemy is going to do. I know what the enemy is. I know what the enemy's strengths are. I know generally what the enemy weapon systems are. I generally a large number of intercepts from them. But I'm unable to get out of them as to what options he'll follow to be going against me. That is where I feel artificial intelligence will help us to give up a kind of a plan which will be working in the mind of an enemy commander. And if I can have 2, 3 of his options as to how he is going to come and combat me, then I will be able to make a better plan to be able to defeat it. So it's something that is very possible. It's something that information is available, yet we are not able to use the tool of AI to convert it into actual situations, which many of the speakers have said since the morning, that it can be converted into actual options that are available and the possibilities that can happen. Take, for example, a large-size military force operating in the plains of Punjab, or anywhere for that matter. Logistics plays a very important role in all of these military operations. And logistics is a very cumbersome issue, whether it's ammunition management, whether it is repair and maintenance, whether it is casualties, maintenance, and rehabilitation. Take, for example, the issue of ammunition itself. In the olden days, we work on ammunition as a WWR scales, war worsted reserves, which we worked on 10 days of intense operations and 20 days or 30 days of normal operations. We either over-dumped the ammunition or we under-dumped the ammunition. Today, when you go to war and you have an operational plan, based on the operational plan, the AI can work out for us as to what kind of ammunition will be required in what quantities and at what point of time in that operation, so that appropriate amount of creation of that ammunition in the frontline forces is available. Our logistic dumps can be suitably equipped with that kind of quantity of ammunition. And if required, industry can even be asked to surge the preparation or the production of that ammunition. Similarly, we talk about the battle casualties. Now, AI can help us in a warfare kind of, if it's mountain warfare, it can assess differently. If it's a plains warfare, it can end differently. So depending upon what kind of war you're indulging in, there's a fair possibility of the AI assessing as to what kind of casualties you're going to have. Based on that, we can maintain our response to it from the medical corps. We can put forward air dressing stations. We can put field hospitals, what kind of staff they should have, what kind of medicines we should have, what kind of casualties you're going to have. Maybe you're going to have some snow casualties in the mountains of heart diseases. We can have many other kinds of problems in the desert. We can have similar problems as to ammunition creating in you. So this will also help us in creating a better medical response in a field area. When you go along like this, you will find that for a successful field operation, all these issues that I talk about are possible to achieve with just about the use of AI tools to be able to get some kind of options. They may not be the best options, but they give you options to do that you can do this, or you can do that. 3 options are available. And what are the options that the enemy is going to have? Therefore, you can match your plans. You can come out with a plan at the end of it, which is bound to succeed. So I think in the field army, AI has excellent opportunities, excellent possibilities to provide us with information to make better decisions. And as many speakers said earlier also, we cannot be absolutely slaves to this AI. We have to intelligently interpret it, and finally it will always be the human mind which will decide as to what's the best option available for each kind of operations. Even in the case of counter-terrorist operations, you find today that a large number of information is available. There's a terrorist group over here, there's a terrorist group over here, but we're not able to get a timely, actionable intelligence. If we have the possibilities of communications being intercepted, if we have the possibilities of air photographs, if we have the possibilities of telephone conversations or of human intelligence, and you put it together into an AI system, you'll get very accurate intelligence which is time-bound, and you'll be able to convert it into actionable intelligence which will give you results. So I personally feel, sir, that today with AI in the field, there are many options available. I can go on talking for the next half an hour, but 7-8 minutes is what you've given us. So essentially, the field army commanders have a lot of possibilities in exploiting the AI and to do this for the best of our advantage. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, we can take them on later.
Questions?
Sir, question to you, sir. I'm asking a layman question. So I'm Dr. Prasanna. So imagine I'm in a kind of in warship or in the flight, and now something breaks, right? And the pilot doesn't know what to do. So in your plans of it, I saw very beautifully narrated stories, but now I'm in a panic mode. How does the pilot need to take a decision? Is there any leverage of AI? I have ideas, but I just want to ask you, is there any plans currently? You got my question? Yeah, question, yeah. Okay, so a very layman question. So I'm in a air flight now. I'm waging a war. I'm a pilot now. I'm just stepping the shoes of a pilot. Something breaks in my flight, right? I need to make informed decisions. I need to get assistance immediately. How is AI can help you there? I have thoughts, but I just want to ask you, is there any plans for that?
I'm not a pilot. Pilot is sitting here.
Yeah, probably a question to both of you then.
I'll let the young...
Definitely, sir.
He's much more qualified than me to answer. Well, firstly, as far the flying situation is very, very intensely dynamic. Whenever emergencies are concerned, every pilot is trained to handle a lot of emergencies with many permutations and combinations. But if we talk in terms of integrating AI, it is with respect to decision making in terms of recovering the aircraft. So if there is an emergency and I need to land at the nearest base, then there are various other factors. What is my height? What is the fuel available? Are there any restrictions with respect to controllability of the aircraft? The base at which I'm going, what is the length of the runway? Depending on my emergency, let's say if it's a hydraulic failure, I may not have brakes available. So if the runway length is shorter, I may land, but it may lead to accident because I've not been able to stop the aircraft in time. So there are various such variables wherein AI can be used with adequate repository of data with respect to this being available so as to recover the aircraft. This answer is only restricted to your scenario of in-flight emergency.
Definitely, sir. So we'll probably talk at the lunch.
Just one more thing I want to add. See, as the generation of aircraft has progressed, today we are into the 5th generation fleet. There is huge amount of sensor fusion, and everything is available on the pilot's helmet side.
Yeah.
So even in the 4th generation aircraft, you have what you call the multifunctional displays. And if there is an emergency, certain amount of actions which you are supposed to take as a pilot are displayed on it. And so there are not many variables in it. So when the variables increase, that means when you go to the 5th generation, when you have much more data which is available to you and you have to take a decision from then the AI becomes even more important.
Yes, sir. So 30 seconds response for, first of all, thank you for the detailed explanation. So my thought is slightly different. So imagine you're a young, of course you're a young pilot, but the sir next to you is very experienced. So we can take the entire knowledge of the senior into my solution, and then you can talk to a solution called Tina, for example. Name can be anything. Imagine you're at the situation wherein you have to land it very seriously, all of it. I'm a young pilot. You can talk to AI. It can guide you for a safe landing. So we can talk about it in the lunch. I just have some few thoughts. One last question for you, sir. Question for you, sir. You put beautiful slide. It had US there. It had Israel over there. My question to you is, when are we bringing India over there, sir?
For me or?
Gentleman in the middle. For Satyam.
So I think we are already there.
Absolutely,
it's
sir.
not that- so it's already known. And I'll give you an example. If COVID, if somebody would have predicted before the COVID happened that this kind of pandemic will come and hit the world, everybody would have predicted that India would have been the worst hit because of the infrastructure, because of the population density. But we all know when COVID hit, we also got hit. But what was the resilience which I think this country has shown at that point of time? And the same thing will happen in AI revolution also. There are a lot of adaptability which is already has come. Yes, we are behind and we should know where we are, but there's a lot of scope to catch up.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
Out of all the speakers, I think one mentioned, the last speaker, Lieutenant General, he mentioned about the actionable intelligence, and especially given the exometric nature of the warfare today, and also the intelligence gathering, assimilation, and of course the actions based on those. The radicalized nature of terrorism counterinsurgency, I'm piggybacking on him as well, as to how that you could deploy. First of all, of course, assimilate the data, which you said about 60, 70 years of data, which could also be used in CT and CI as well. Is that being done? I mean, this is a question to everybody. I mean, it's a global threat as well. In how this could be done, is it being done? Or do you foresee anything coming in the near future, as in the next 1 year or 2 years? Thank you.
So what the general on the left told the audience about was the various courses of action, wherein if the enemy is building up opposite us in some particular instance with the historic data which we have from our war gaming, we feed that data into our systems, and thereafter the complete process flow of working out the options, what the enemy's courses of action could be, and thereafter what could be our courses of action based on the various scenarios which present us as the operations go. So we are working on it. We can't divulge more details, but yes, we are working on that kind of scenario building and how the AI-enabled courses of actions will be given. Then if it gives, AI engine gives, say, 3, 4, 5 courses of action based on whatever historic data which we have fed in, then it depends on the commander thereafter, whether he wants to take that decision which the AI has given, he wants to add his own experience into the various courses of action which has been given by the AI, or he wants to modify that. So that is up to the commander's experience and commander's intent at that point in time. But yes, we are diligently working towards utilizing this kind of scenario building. Thank you.
You want me to elaborate on that a little bit?
Would you like to elaborate? Okay.
See, your question is very valid, and I must say, the answer is also very straightforward, which he is working on. Take the case of Pakistan. Across a particular sector in Indian border, we are very much aware of what kind of force levels he's got there. We are also, not only me, the world knows it. The internet will tell you. The various publications will tell you what weapon systems has he got, what kind of training profile his forces have got, what kind of exercises they've been doing, what kind of commanders they've got. If these informations are available and fed into an AI facility, you will get possible options. He is likely to do this or this or this, because this is all what he can do with the kind of capabilities that he's got in his kitty. As defending commanders, that is the opposite commanders, we now get an opportunity to, when we write a military operation is a simple training of the army, we first discuss what the enemy is. That is without any AI available. So you make an enemy assessment, and based on the enemy assessment, you create your own plan. If your enemy assessment is good, then your plan will definitely succeed. But if your enemy assessment is not good, then your plan is unlikely to succeed. So what the AI will do, and what we expect the AI to do, is to give us 2 or 3 good options, which he will undertake, and that gives me more options for me to counter that. With my weapons, if I don't have a particular weapon and I need it, it can be provided to me if my country has got it here. And that will enhance my capabilities to be able to undertake what he is planning to do on me. I hope, is that what you're trying to do also? Yes.
Can I just make one clarification? The point I want to make is, do we want ourselves to become slaves of AI? We cannot be slaves of AI. As a military commander, you have to have certain risk-taking ability. You have to think out of the box, and you have to think differently than your adversary. If you start thinking in a very, very methodical, in a single linear manner, you will never ever win a war. And so what you realize is, it is the innovation that you undertake at that point in time. And so when you talk about strategic planning, the AI will become useful there to make your plans. But once you put your plans into effect, and now you are executing, things may not turn out the way they are supposed to. And when they don't turn out the way they are supposed to, you will take AI to help you with inputs, with, what should I say, refined inputs, and then take a decision on the spot on what to do. Otherwise, if we continue to have these option 3, then we will just become objective type question answers. That military leader cannot be. That is my take.
Thank you for clarifying that. My sub-question would have been, would you ignore the human 10 seconds rather than the AI driving? And that you answered beautifully. Thank you for that.
Yeah, hi. This is Aditya Basu from adityabasu.com. I'm an independent media producer. So I've worked with the army making films for them, and it involved a lot of research. So research has become, instantly we can do research in a few minutes, which used to take us around 6 months to do it, right? So while picking a film for the army, what I saw, they were literally keeping internet out of their, bases. And now with AI, it needs a particular layer of communication, which will be using various satellite networks and all that. China obviously is developing AI, but they're also developing quantum communication networks so that it cannot be hacked. So whatever AI systems we are putting out there, it's on traditional communication networks that are there, which can be hacked. So what are our steps being taken in the quantum computing and quantum communication link, which is going to protect all that you are going to put online in those networks?
So you talked about the quantum communication network. So let me clarify one thing. When you said quantum communication network cannot be hacked, that's not the correct statement to make. What is there presently, what you're talking about, if I understood correctly, is implementation of PQC, post-quantum communication. That already is happening around the world. As and when it happens, like when we migration to IPv6 started, it never took place because there's lot of infrastructure issues in that. NIST has already standardized PQC algorithms, and that would come into place in future. Entire internet will migrate to it. And so far as quantum computing is concerned, whatever is there in the literature, we can believe it, but nothing has been ever proven till now. There are a lot of claims and counterclaims on every quantum computing aspect. Putting AI into quantum computing will, quantum computer will never replace a traditional computer. It is just an aid. So as far as security is concerned, cyber security, adequate measures are being taken. Why internet is kept out is because of obvious reasons. We can't put all our strategic information and classified information on internet. US has been doing it, but they are doing it in a different way. We still maintain an air gap in our systems. AI can also be deployed on an air gap system, which we have seen and done. We don't need internet for a developed system. For developing, yes, we work on internet, but once it is developed, and when we have to port our information, we take it on a air gap network, and it works beautifully there. So I don't see a problem in using an air gap network and AI together. Cybersecurity is a completely different aspect that we can discuss separately.
Firstly, we have improved. We do allow internet now in our premises, but as a separate layer altogether. So whatever the developers need, I know the power of internet is required. So whatever developer need, it's in a sandboxed environment. So thereafter, whatever code has to be taken out and used in the AI platform is there. Secondly, now we are moving to the sovereign data. In any case, our the complete network is a captive network as far as Army, Air Force, Navy is concerned. But now we are also going in for the sovereign data clouds. So whether it's Google, whether it is Amazon, whether it is Microsoft, anybody. And we are already in the advanced talks of establishing our own sovereign data clouds with the AI compute as part of this data cloud, which can be used even for the development of a foundational model, as to also use whatever is the capability of that data cloud. So this is what we are doing now. And the journey is on. So I think you should be happy that we are working on those kind of aspects. But as we will be segregated, that is for sure. We will never integrate with the internet as of today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandeep. I think he has asked part of my question. The question is like, from 2013 to 14 onwards, China has already taken the leaps and bounds in the area of AI and the quantum stuff, like, in a big way, from the school, their universities, their government, and everywhere. They are now the leader in AI in the world. The kind of paper they publish, it's like a total of US and Europe published as a whole. They're like taking leaps and bounds. And their armed forces also more or less very much, capitalizing on this AI stuff. So my question is like, in our stuff, is AI is only in the theories aspect, or actually we are utilizing also, theory and giving sessions are one thing, and actually utilizing and using it is a different thing. Are we really using AI? Because the kind of warfare and kind of situation we see in coming time, it's not going to be easy, at least what I understand. You guys are more expert than us, but what I see is not going to be same like a one-to-one war and physical war. Those will be really difficult. So are we really using AI, or is only the theory part of it?
A lot of AI is being used across all three services. But is your question specifically that are we using AI for warfare directly or to take a decision during war? Is that your question? Because a whole lot of processes are involved. There are certain applications which are administrative in nature also. That is also where AI is being used. So it may not directly contribute to whether we have to go and target this particular location or this location. That is not, I hope, not exactly understood your question. A lot of AI is being used.
Just one case in just like recent war situation in Israel, where they have taken the picture of the person right now and they've taken the snap and just sent to their data center, and they have matched the person. Okay, this is the enemy who we want to kill, and then they shot the person, right? So I think the head of that one group they killed, right? So that kind of a real-time analysis of data and giving that intelligence on time, So those people are using it, right?
So what you're talking of has more aspect towards communication rather than AI. So their ability to take the picture, send it back to their data center, process it and give the real-time information relates to communication rather than AI. AI capability is always there. It is just the processing of the data which is there. But how do you collect the data from the real time, take it from there, back to your data center? If you take example of a ship which is in the middle of the sea, I can take the picture very easily, but how do I communicate back to my base station? I need a satellite image, satellite connectivity. So what we are presently trying to work out is the infrastructure required for the AI to work seamlessly end to end. And as far as when you talk about China, China is a totalitarian government. If the government says we need to do this, the entire country does that. We are a democracy. So there will always be, democracy will always take some time to catch up. That is a fact.
I got my answer actually.
Let us not get into democracy or communism or anything. It's technology that we are talking about. And I think we are nascent, we are taking baby steps. I would not say that we are completely integrated. I would not say that we have implemented AI solutions to our battlefield issues and operations completely. But we are moving there. Are we there? No. Are we going there? Yes. Now, what is the path to reach there? I think the guys in uniform know the best how to reach there. And who's the enabler? People who are sitting right opposite us, you are the guys who are enabling us. We are not comparing ourselves with China or USA. We are talking about very, very specific. How is artificial intelligence going to help decision making? Your question is beyond my pay grade, so I think I'll just let that pass, because there are a lot of people who are going to, if I say anything, I may not exist after some time. So we'll allow that. Last question, is there anybody else? Okay, there are 2 questions. I've been told that I can take 2 more questions.
Sir, it's up to you.
No. I had said last question. So
okay, let's have a last question.
Last question. Yeah. Can somebody ask the mic?
Yeah, this is the guy going.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Prashant Tamil. So basically my question is, like, how can AI-enabled warfare systems just get autonomously adapt to unknown threat signatures in real life without human interventions? Like how?
So you are saying that how autonomous systems can work against unknown threats?
So how AI systems autonomously adapt to unknown threat signatures in real life without human interventions?
They don't.
They can't adapt or tailor themselves to unknowns. Where it is the way it is tailor-made is that there will be sensors. Instead of humans, there will be adequate array of sensors which will be feeding to this autonomous system. So without having sensor data or the data around or situational awareness, the autonomous weapon cannot take any decision. So it is never a unknown for the system to work. And if we talk of working against an unknown in warfare, then it is going to be catastrophic.
Means AI will never replace humans in terms of warfare. Like really? If AI will replace humans, then I think AI-enabled systems take all over the warfare systems and all like that. They can just get to know about the unknown threat signatures and all like that in real life.
So I'll answer it in two parts. One is, when you're using AI for generating information, and the other is using AI to target. Okay, when you are using AI to generate information, unknowns are there. You then go on to the investigation of unknowns. And then they become knowns after some time. But if it is an unknown in targeting, that means you have to kill somebody, then you will not do it. Because otherwise you do not know what an autonomous system could do. Yeah. So there are certain protocols that have to be established so that there is no collateral damage or no unknown fatalities. That's the difference between war fighting and non-war fighting domains.
Okay. Means we can't enable AI in all of the sectors in warfare.
No, your question I can't understand. It's
so
thoda sa confidently पूछ लो ना.
So my question is basically, how can AI detect all the threat measures in real life?
So
yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll wrap up this session. It's already gone a little beyond. So I want to thank AICRA, Mr. Rajkumar, for having this in this session of defense and AI, which is not a very norm. And I think the kind of AI solution that the defense needs in every aspect requires industry support, and it requires academia support. And so these two are the main pillars that will help, I think, military in India to rise to a level where we can say that we can compete with the US and China, especially in integrating artificial intelligence into military operations. The basic difference I want to say or talk about is decision-making in military, unlike any other field, has consequences. That means if the decision is not right, you lose the war. So that is the importance of decision-making, and that is the importance of AI in decision-making in military. You perhaps have a better understanding now about what military is doing in terms of artificial intelligence, how is the penetration of artificial intelligence into military from the speakers. And I think industry has a major role to play in providing solutions. And so integration of the three services and then integration of industry with the three services, I think is most important if we want to achieve the final goal of integrated operations, multi-domain operations, and multi-domain decision making. So I would like to just wrap up with this. Thank you very much for this patient hearing. And I think the interest in the topic was visible from the number of questions we had and the repeated questions also. Thank you.